It's game day, everyone. Montreal Canadiens take on the Columbus Blue Jackets in Columbus tonight. 1 week after they went to the shootout to win, Jonathan Drouin got the winning goal. Drouin is out. Byron is out today, as I let y'all know in my last video. I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about any line changes. I'm going to give you some stats from the game. I'm going to give you my keys to victory. And I'm going to give you my game prediction, what I think the score will be. And that's all right here, Talking Habs, the home of Habs hockey, where everything is dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. So if you like that and you want to see more, head down there and hit the subscribe button and ring the notifications bell, and that'll get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. And while you're at it, if you like the video, you can give it a thumbs up and leave any comments that you may have about the video, about the game, what your prediction for the game will be, and who you think will step up in this game to help the Habs win. And do that right in the comment section right down there below. Interesting fact, you need to get your game details correct when you're doing a video, or else you have to reshoot, because I got this game confused with another game. And anyway, that's my... So, Montreal's playing Columbus. I would think it's a revenge game for Columbus because we beat them in a shootout. You might even say they kind of, I don't know if they outplayed us, but we definitely underestimated them a little bit, and they gave us a better game than we thought. I say we, I didn't play. So I would think that this is a revenge game for Columbus, and being that they're at home, this could be a tough game for Montreal. So, go over a few stats, I guess. So, like I said, Montreal beat them last week, 3-2 in the shootout. Jonathan Drouin got the winner in the shootout, and it's a revenge game. Montreal is 1-5-0 in their last 6 games in Columbus, so that's not a great stat. We need to turn that around. Montreal is also 7-1-2 in their last 10 games with only 1 regulation loss, and that's great, and we need to keep that trend going. The Habs have given up 11 goals in the last minute of a period so far this season, and that trend needs to stop. Oh, on a side note, Cale Fleury turns 21 today. Happy birthday, Cale Fleury. Both Jonathan Drouin and Paul Byron are out for a long stretch this season, or right now. Drouin had wrist surgery yesterday. He will be out from 6 to 8 weeks from what I can tell. And Byron is having knee surgery today, and he will be out from 4 to 6 weeks. That's what I've heard, but since the surgery hadn't happened, I imagine there's going to be an update to that, because maybe they find there's more damage or even less damage there, and maybe he's ready earlier, or it could take longer. So we're going to find that out, I imagine, later today. Let's see now. That begs this question for me, is who is going to step up that's on the roster right now without having to call anybody else up, because I don't think there's anybody really down on the farm right now that's going to come up and step into Jonathan Drouin's role. I really don't think. So somebody from the team that's here right now needs to do that. Who on this team is capable? I'm going to give one at first that is already kind of doing it, but I think can do more to help this team, and that's Max Domi. Max Domi has 4 goals, 9 assists for 13 points. He's a +6 with 48 shots on goal. He's got a low shooting percentage of 8.3, so he needs to shoot a little more, and he needs to score with that shot a little more. He does have 6 power play points, which is good, a goal and 5 assists, and I'd like to see him keep that up and keep going, because last season it was horrible, and we don't want to see that. We want to see the guys that are scoring on the power play right now continue to score, especially in Jonathan Drouin's absence, who I know last year was by far the leading point getter on the power play, and I'm not sure this year, but losing him, that's a big blow to the power play. He's a bit of a quarterback on there, right? Okay, so he also has I put his face-off percentages, but he's playing right now. He's going to be playing on the wing. They went to that during I think it was in the second period of last game, and I said in my video yesterday that I thought they would do this for the next few games, just to see how it works, because with Drouin's absence, there's a hole on left wing. Domi's a natural left winger. It makes sense at this point to shift him over there to make sure, or to see how that works, if he's got the chemistry with Drouin in those roles going forward, and if it does work, well, big problem solved, right? So I think Domi is one of these guys that needs to step up here, move, shift over there, and show us what he's got from the left wing. And I don't think there'll be a drop-off there. He's a natural winger, and I think he can do just as well, if not even a little better, on the wing. Especially if Suzuki can pass to him the way Suzuki should be able to do. I think there's a lot of potential there, and that's why I think Domi is one of the guys that can really step up here. And then that brings us to Nick Suzuki. So Nick Suzuki moved into the second line center role in the last game, and I thought he looked pretty good and comfortable there, and I think there's tons of potential. I personally think Nick Suzuki is the #1 center of the future for Montreal, with KK coming in right behind him at #2. That's personally, I think he has the highest ceiling of the young centers that are coming up, and I personally, I think sky's the limit for a guy like Suzuki. Not saying he's going to be an elite superstar, but I think he has the potential to be that. So Suzuki's numbers are 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points in 20 games played, with 2 power play points, a goal and an assist, and this projects out to 37 points for the season. Where I don't think that number is actually accurate, because I think it will be higher, is that Suzuki's been playing fourth line minutes most of this season so far, with I think 5 games at center out of the 20. So I think if he's moving forward at second line center and it works and he stays there, I think that number jumps up by a good 10 to 15 points, and that could vault him into the Calder talk, the Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year talk. Not that I'm saying that he's going to win it, but I think he'll be in it, in that race. He's also a +3. He has had, I didn't give his shots and all that, but he is 42 and 53 on the dot in the face-off circle, with a 44.2% face-off percentage, and I think that's something that he needs to improve. There's something that he really does need to improve. I'd like to see him get up towards 50, if not over. He's had 27 shots on goal, playing mostly fourth line minutes, so I expect that number to go up, and just in general, his opportunities are going to go up. So Nick Suzuki, to me, is the biggest element here of who's going to replace Jonathan Drouin's minutes and production. I think he's the #1 guy. Now, behind him, you've got a guy like Lehkonen, you've got Charles Hudon, and you've got Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who can all do better than they've done in the beginning. Now, Kotkaniemi was injured. He missed 7 games with a groin injury, so he's back. He didn't do much in the New Jersey game, but he has 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points in the 13 games he's played. He needs to improve his face-off percentages as well. He's 56 and 75 for a 42.7. It's not good enough. He does have 1 power play point, and I think he'll be playing some power play minutes. So KK, next guy that can really step up here and can make a difference and help to make up for that slack. The next guy up is Lehkonen, and I think Lehkonen can improve. He's played really well, especially away from the puck. He's invaluable that way, really. He does so many good things in a game that you don't really notice. But I think his offense can step up here. He's got 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points, a +1. Here's where his stats need to improve. He's got 38 shots on goal, which isn't horrible, but he can shoot a little more. He's got to shoot accurately, more accurately. He's got only a 5.3% shooting percentage, and that's got to come up. And then Charles Hudon, who's only played the 1 game this season so far, with 0 points, I think 1 shot on goal, not enough of a sample size. But he had 9 goals and 2 assists with the Laval Rocket, the reason he got the call-up, and I think he can make a difference here. Playing in a similar role to Nick Suzuki that was playing on the 4th line with Thompson and this time with Wheel. And I think he can make a difference here. So I'd like to see some production from him, and that'll keep him on the team if he does do that. So what are the keys to victory here? I'm running late, of course. Last game, Montreal started slow and didn't find their game till late in the second period. So they need to start better and quicker and established the game very early in the first period. They were outshot by Columbus, so cutting down on shots against is really important here. And they need to play, which means they need to play tighter defensively overall. But they must cut down on shots. I think it was 35-32 for shots last game. They've got to cut out that last-minute goal in a period. Got to cut that out because they gave one up to Columbus the last game, and almost two because the first period goal was like at 16:40 something, and that's close to being a last-minute goal. And they've allowed 11 this season. They've got to cut that out. They need to play a full 60-minute game here. They're on the road against a team that they beat the last time, so the team is looking for revenge. They're going to be playing a lot better than that last game, one must assume. And they need to play a 60-minute game to keep ahead of that. Because I think Montreal is a better team, and Montreal should win here. Price needs to continue his solid, if not spectacular, play. Doesn't need to be spectacular, needs to be solid. He has been spectacular, and I don't expect a drop-off from Carey Price. No sign of it, but you never know, eh? Sometimes a goalie just has a crappy game out of the blue, unexpectedly, and that could happen. He needs to be solid here. They're on the road. And I think that's all I got. So my prediction, that's Lee's my prediction. By the way, let me know in the comment section what you think the score will be and who you think might step up in this game and going forward to help make up for these two injuries. So my prediction here, when I wrote this all out, I wrote 4-2 Montreal. And I thought about it and I said, if you look at their goals for and goals against per game, it probably comes out to more like 4-3. So I was going to go with 4-3 for Montreal. And just here, just before filming, I went to 5. I have a feeling Montreal is going to come out. And them too, it's kind of a revenge game because they had a very poor showing at home against this team. I think they want to go into their barn and they want to burn it down. So I'm looking at 5-3 Montreal. So I'm calling 5-3 Montreal. I think Nick Suzuki is going to have a good game. I think that first liner to Targali and Deneau are going to have a good game. I think Price is going to have a good game. I haven't seen the lines for the defense. That's why I didn't mention defense. But I think the defense will tighten up. And I think overall we're going to beat this team 5-3. So that's it for my video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And while you're on the way down doing that, give it a subscribe and ring the notifications bell. And that's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge from me at Talking Habs. And you can leave any comments you might have in the comment section about this video, about my channel, about your prediction for the game, and who you think will be the player or players to step up in the absence of Drouin and Byron. And I think that's it. So the last thing to say is this. Go Habs, go. Let's kick some Blue Jacket ass. Bye, y'all.